I want to welcome the GMs and the wives, the godly men and the warm, inviting, feminine, empathetic women out there. Now, in today's video topic, what I want to talk about, and for those that are just joining, my name is Thaddeus, and this is the Regal Change YouTube channel. What I want to talk about in today's video is how the body attracts and the spirit is what keeps. Now, this doesn't just go for relationships or business or anything like that. It goes for everything in your life. And it took me a long time to realize this because throughout meditation, and this is something that I think also needs to be talked about in correlation with this topic, is the importance of meditation and how meditation and dreams can play a part in keeping whatever it is that you're trying to keep within your spirit. So the body is essentially, in all intents and purposes, the body is essentially a satellite, okay? You can use your body to the degree in which you can be a spiritual satellite to transform negative energy into positive energy. But the way to do this takes immense self-discipline, it takes immense self-control, and it takes immense self-awareness and understanding. Many people do not have this capability, but there is something that you can do in your meditation to fully understand this at a deeper level. When you're meditating and you're noticing what it's like to be you, because that's essentially what meditating is, that's the way that I define meditation. Whenever you're doing any different kind of meditation technique, you can do any of these kinds of meditations while also enhancing your instincts and intuition. You can notice how you think and why you think the way that you do. Notice your sensations. Notice why you're feeling certain sensations. And also notice that the body itself doesn't really have a point in which you can identify that's the source. That is where the source of all of my experience arises. Notice how you can't really do that when you're meditating. And if you want to try that right now, go ahead and pause the video and just breathe for 10 or 20 seconds and try to find the place within your body or your mind or your soul in which there's the point. Like, try to point to where your consciousness actually begins. So go ahead and try that if you'd like. Now, as you come back to this exercise, and from this exercise, think about all of the different kinds of things and people you've been attracting throughout the last few months or years or whatever the case may be. And think about the kind of behaviors that you've exhibited to attract those kinds of people, and think about the things that you've accomplished to attract those kinds of things or people as well. What kind of behaviors are you exhibiting socially and economically and spiritually to attract certain kinds of caliber of people and things? Now, of course, I'm not necessarily a materialist, but I'm not necessarily against materialism. I'm not anti-materialist or materialism. I'm anti-truth. So anything that is going against truth is something that I do not want to be a part of. Anything that is going against spirit and truth is something that I do not want to be a part of. And so I understand in modern day society that we need to put as much effort into our relationships as we are putting effort into the things that we're doing. Why? Because the relationships that we have are going to mold our experience and our quality of experience in this life. Now, of course, let's take this, because this is going to be a topic that we can very much expand on. So if I were some male that was 300 pounds, okay, maybe I'm 5'3" and I'm 300 pounds, and I'm 30 years old, and I'm playing video games in my mom's basement, or I'm playing, the stereotypical, like over the top stereotypical, not a good option for long-term relationship, okay? This would be stereotypical. What could this 5'3", 300-pound person start doing to attract better experiences and better people and better things in his life? Well, number one, obviously, he would be able, like, if he's not even streaming or he's not even trying to get money off of streaming on these video games or something, well, obviously he can stop playing video games. Oh, but he really wants to play video games. But he's also very scared to stop playing video games because then he would actually have to do something. He's also scared to do something that actually contributes to his nutrition. He's scared to not eat as many fast food things, or to not eat as many pizzas or whatever it is, or ice cream or brownies or whatever. He's scared to do those things. Well, imagine this man that we've created. Imagine if he asked himself, what would he do if he wasn't afraid? And this is something that I want you all to ask yourself right now, because no matter who we are, no matter where we're at in our lives, we're all facing some kind of form of hardship. And I don't really give a crap where you've come from or what you've been through. Everybody in this life, I mean, I do care, but for the sakes of this question, we're not going to care. So the reason that we're not going to care is because everybody's had like really stupid shit happen to them, okay? How we handle that is up to us. And a lot of the times we don't have the thought algorithms to choose certain pathways to actually grow the way that we want to grow. We don't understand how to actually choose differently, and we don't understand that we actually do have a choice, that we actually can overcome fear, that we can actually have courage. We can actually do things more in accordance to with our own sense of well-being, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. But we're not oftentimes not aware of that because we aren't aware of what we are actually feeling or what we're actually doing. And we actually suppress a lot of the stuff that we're going through because to accept what the reality is would, in a very real sense, it would be too much for a lot of different kinds of people out there. Then you have like the flip side of these kinds of things, right? Where people are on the outside, they look great. They look amazing. They're fantastic. They have seemingly everything going for them, but they're so much involved in the material and worldly world that they don't know who they are. They're so wrapped up in seeing people as objects or things, as ways to make them feel like they're something, that they don't even know. Like, they're chasing a feeling, but that feeling is never gonna come because they're afraid to face themselves. These are the kinds of people that can take on and conquer the world. Or if you're a woman, these are the kinds of women that can do that as well. And yet, most of the women, like I've had women that I've talked to in their late 30s and in their late 50s, and they realized, wow, all the stuff that I was taught was getting me nowhere, and I continued to do so thinking that I was going to get somewhere. And now I'm here, and I want a family or I want a relationship, and the quality of people that want me, I don't want. And it's like, well, yeah, like that's going to be something for everybody as we get older in some way, shape, or form. Men have a little bit more of a slow burn than women do, and men can actually, biologically speaking, we can make babies until we're 70, okay? Obviously, women don't have that opportunity based off of their biology. So women do have a shorter time frame to get it right. And this is one of the reasons why it makes me so sad, and I wish that our society would not lie to so many women. I wish that our society would teach women to put as much effort into creating a family and a relationship and a caring relationship as they do with chasing that career girl or getting that money in that bag. Like, who cares? Like, who cares? And to all of the men out there that have completely lacked in their ambition or that have completely lacked in their building of resources, like, what are you doing? Seriously, this is a time to really make sure that you guys understand that we only have a limited number of breaths. When I first began to realize this, when I was in my early 20s, I thought, well, I mean, I could basically live forever. Like, I've got my whole life ahead of me. What a and that was instilled in me by my professors and everybody at the university and all my colleagues and everything like that. It's like, oh, you got your whole life ahead of you. You've got your whole life ahead of you. You're so young. No, no, not in any way, shape, or form. Now is the time. If you don't understand that your life really is not going to change unless you make it change, and I believe me, I understand what that's like. I myself was not in the best position. I myself did not come from much. I myself did not have the support that I needed emotionally or spiritually growing up. I myself know what it's like to feel completely alone and isolated in the world and feel like the entire world is out to get you. I know what it's like to feel like the existential weight of existence is just crashing down on you, like you're in a hailstorm with hail the size of baseballs. And there's nowhere for you to go. You just have to accept getting hit by these baseball-sized hails, like hailstorms. This is understandable. I understand what this is like. And guess what? I am spiritually scarred in many ways by those experiences, but I've also been able to heal the scar. So the scar is healed, but the scar is still there. These kinds of things don't just disappear. A generational curse, for example, that's something that is not a scar. That's a scar that that's a scab that continues to get like ripped off and ripped off and ripped off. In order for the scab to heal, you have to stop peeling at the scab, right? It's the same kind of thing with these generational curses. And that's how you heal your body, is by healing your spirit. That way, when you actually get things that you want to keep around, you know how to keep them around. Because you are providing value that is something based off of non-materialistic qualities. There's nothing wrong with materialism. I wish everybody could live a luxurious life. I hope everybody does. I hope we can all get to a point to where we do create that society in which philosophy is valued and innovation is encouraged, science is properly reviewed. I do hope we create a societal structure in which everybody strives for telling the truth and being loyal and valuing family. But it all starts with us. And I've been very tempted over the past few weeks specifically with lust myself. It is so challenging in many ways, because even though as awake as I am, I understand that I still have a lot of growth to do. We're always going to have growth. We're always going to be able, and that's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of life. And so I have all of these higher quality people coming into my life now, and now I get to see who do I actually really want to be around. I get to choose. Because I've made those sacrifices. I've healed my spirit to the point in which my body can attract the kinds of people and things that are actually valuable and that are going to be an asset to me in my life. And anybody that does happen to be a liability, and to be honest, it's probably like 2/3 of the population, because in the Bible it says 2/3 of the population does not have eyes to see or ears to hear. About 2/3 of the population, I just don't even need to pay attention. And this is going to be something that when you get to that point in which you have the ability to just attract and let things come to you, man, that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling. But that's not a feeling that you should try to chase. Accept it when it's there. Love it. But continue to be on what you're here to do and what you're trying to achieve. Make your dreams so big that you don't even know if it's possible. And dreams are going to be very valuable. And I'm talking about like conscious dreams as well as dreams when you're asleep. When you're dreaming and you're asleep and you have these different kinds of occurrences and situations or themes to your dreams, your subconscious is trying to tell you something. Try to listen to it. And with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, peace be with you.